ho, good neighbor. Today we're flying high above the Oakland estuary. But before we do, I had to fly over these kids playing lacrosse. That's right, it's not soccer they're playing lacrosse, like a ball they toss around with a net. So I don't know whatever happened to good old baseball and football. Nowadays they're playing lacrosse and soccer. All these foreign games. Yep, that's right. The soccer and baseball, yeah, they're the new sport. But this is what we're going to come and look at today. That's right. This is not the first time you've seen this, nor will it be the last. It's just something that fascinates me every time. You know, when I come out here to the base to fly, the Alameda Naval Base, once in a while I will see one of these cargo ships getting turned around by at least 3 tugboats, but on this day, well, I only saw 2. So I've seen up to 4 tugboats, so I don't know why some ships get more attention than others, but on this day, the CMA CGM, whatever that means on the side of that ship, this day there was only 2 tugboats, so I had to swing the drone around the big ship to see what is going on. How is this thing getting turned? Because this ship does not turn itself. And as a matter of fact, there's a pilot in that ship. That's not the ship captain that drove that ship here. They have a pilot that drives the big ship from underneath the Golden Gate Bridge and through the Bay Bridge. So they have the same guy drive those big ships every day through the Golden Gate and Bay Bridge. I'm sure there's a couple pilots because there's more than one ship that needs to be going through the bay at any given time. But there you go. Look there is one tugboat pulling, and there's the other one pushing. And that is a full boat. So you think there would be 4 tugboats, but not on this one. Just 2. So, and I just want you to look at the water of all the power that the little tugboats are just pulling and pushing. And it looks like the ship is dragging the bay because you can see the mud, you know. So I bet you that once in a while they have to dredge that bay. But yeah, I don't know how they get to the center of that little cutout of the estuary, but they know right where to turn that boat. I guess they do it enough times that this is how they know right where to pull in and start turning. But you can see it is a dance. One's pushing and one's pulling. And yeah, it is kind of neat to see. I really like the shadows right here on the water too. It kind of leaves a nice, beautiful photography of the shadows hitting the water. Well, this is one of those ships that have probably seen more ports all up and down the coast of California. I think if you were to ask the captain, he's probably seen Singapore and, you know, all the Mideast. And, you know, right now they can't take these ships over there by the war in Gaza and stuff because the Houthis are throwing missiles and trying to sink these ships. They don't want anything to do with the West. You know, we always say the West is the best. Well, they don't think so. Over there in Saudi Arabia, they don't like all this comfort. You know, everything on that cargo ship right there represents the West. So they want to live like they did back in the olden days. And they don't want to have the West bring in all their goods. And you can understand why, because the West is their minds are getting corrupted by material things. So they do have a point over there. They do not want their young children being corrupted by the West and all their philosophies, I guess you would say. But I will tell you this, and I will not stop telling you, these ships are huge. The drone and the camera, it will never tell you how big these things are. You can just see one little bird flying around and one big tug ship. And that tugboat, it is basically underneath the ship. Yeah, if it was raining, the front of that tugboat would not get wet because it is underneath the ship. And it is pushing with all its might, and it's just about turned. Right before your eyes, we have witnessed one ship getting turned around just by a matter of science. Push and pull. Now right there was like a bird that came out of nowhere and almost got me. You see that? Yeah, these birds do not like drones. So I kind of backed off here. That is a good warning shot. You have a drone and a bird and they don't like each other. Well, that's time for me to leave, and that's exactly what I did. And as I back away, you can see there was quite a bit of birds down there, but they just about got this old boat turned around. You can see that there's not a lot to see but all the muck in the ground. You can see all the dirt that they drug up. So if you think this bay is deep, well, think again. It is very shallow, and once in a while you will see a dredger out there just taking one scoop at a time of mud that they just cleared out. So I'll end this video right here with enough out of me, but if I shut up for just 1 minute, you can see that that boat is moving. Yep, it's moving for sure. Alright, well, I really don't know how much talking to do in these videos. Sometimes I like to just play a music video and just have music. But I found that narration makes for a video, and sometimes it's hard for me to even come up with something to say, but you don't really have to say a lot when you're looking right down on how awesome these ships are. So whatever you're watching, your television, your computer, your telephone, it probably came from one of these ships. That's right. Everything you see around you was either on a ship, and then it came off of that ship onto a semi-truck. So thank your ship operators, and definitely thank your truck drivers. Your truck drivers do not get enough praise in this world. I'll tell you what, each one of those boxes is a semi-truck for a trucker to have to be on the road and go pull into a loading dock somewhere at a big warehouse and have to wait and wait and wait for them to unload it. And that trucker is away from his family. So I thank you, truckers. You guys are the untold heroes. So I really can't thank you guys enough for leaving your families and the cars that cut you off on the road. And nobody's getting rich being a trucker, I'll tell you that. I've seen truckers, and like I said, nobody's getting rich being a trucker. Alright, well, I've rambled on and yammered up enough. As always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these, I guess you call this, turning the big ship around adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. Now, if you know a trucker, he could be carrying one of these trailers to a town near you. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Don't be cutting off any truckers. They work hard for their money. All right, enough out of me. Bye-bye, everybody.